Hey guys, Josh back here with another video. Working on the Skyline this week. Gonna put in the Koyo radiator today. So I ordered this guy off eBay and I'm gonna unbox it. We'll take a look at it. So yeah, this thing looks really nice. That's all Koyo does is build radiators, so I went with the Koyo versus like a HKS or a Blitz, because these guys specialize in just radiators versus those other aftermarket companies kind of make a little bit of everything. So this guy's the 53 millimeter thickness for the core, but yeah, it looks pretty nice. And then we're going to be taking out the stock one, so I'm going to get this old one out. And what I was concerned about is, I mean, the car is old, it's like 27 years old, and this plastic at the top starts getting brittle, and then there's seals between this and the aluminum where it joins up. So I figured while I'm in here, might as well tear that all apart and do an upgrade. Original intercooler, or the original radiator, and mount it over, pressure wash it off so it's nice and clean. Dismounted from the original temperature sensor from the stock radiator, put it over here. Drain plug, it uses the drain plug that comes with it. You just leave the factory one on, the original one. It even comes with some 10 millimeter upper mounting bolts for either side there, and then for the bottom you just use the original screws from the stock one. So those four there. So we get this thing thrown in, be right back. I'm also going to replace the stock radiator hoses. They're a little dried out and they're starting to leak, especially in this area, right around the Omari temperature sensor. Well, here's a look at the stock radiator hoses versus the Gplus one. So the Gplus one is pretty much the exact same size, so it looks pretty nice. The stock one had this protective barrier over right here in this area, so I just dismounted that, used some silicone spray to slip this over, and then wiped it off. Probably there for heat protection or for wear protection, so I figured I'd throw it on there. And then this is the upper one that goes from like the thermostat to the radiator. So I'm gonna have to modify this to fit the Omari water temperature sensor there, and then I'll get that all installed. Alright, so the radiator is all installed. Brackets are powder coated, had those sandblasted and powder coated on either side, as well as the rubber bushings here. These are brand new. These are OEM. Thank you Nissan's Nismo division for doing the heritage program on the R32 GTR. So you can get all these factory parts. If anybody's unaware of that, that's why all the new JDM parts are available for the R32, and they're supposed to maybe start doing the R33 next. But this is the 53 millimeter intercooler core. Barely fit in there. It was pretty tight down here on these air conditioning lines. So, I mean, you can see there's like pretty much no clearance next to the fan shroud. And the new water lines fit really nice. So Gplus water lines, got the hose clamps and everything in there. Got the water line modified, or the radiator water hose modified to fit the Omari water sensor. And the other radiator hose is way back in there. Kind of hard to see actually. It's buried underneath there, but that one was a little tougher to get to with the plenum. Easy to get to once you had this upper line out. And then in order to get the radiator to drop in there underneath, I actually had to do a little bit of loosening on, let's see which bracket it was. I'm looking at the intercooler. So in order to get it to drop in, this bracket right here, so I had to loosen this bolt and just push this back just a little bit because this thing was not allowing the clearance for the radiator to drop in there. So I had to loosen this underneath and then kind of push this whole thing back because the radiator shroud would not drop past this bracket here. But yeah, it fits really nice. New bushings underneath as well on either side. And then that's the intercooler brackets. So these were powder coated as well. Had those all redone. And the bushings, I used the ones that I had. You can see they're a little dried and cracked. But if anybody's thinking of doing the 53mm intercooler, which is the biggest one that I could see from Koyo, now you know it fits, because I couldn't find any information online besides people installing 48s and 50-inch thick cores. So this is the 53. So there you go. And then also we got a new temperature sensor. So that green wire that goes all the way down there into the intercooler, or to the radiator core, that's a brand new sensor. The other one was working fine, but the wiring in the cord was a little brittle. So I figured, hey, while I'm at it, well, I've got this thing all torn down, might as well just go ahead and replace it. And that's this. That's the bottom of the sensor right there. So it looks pretty nice. But yeah, this is a lot more pliable. The other one felt like the cord was going to crack. So that's it. Anyway guys, thank you for watching. I will be back with more videos.